tonight. With us, former police officer and sheriff's deputy Joe Estette. Joe's been a corrections officer, police officer, investigator, and sheriff's deputy. He was elected vice president of the police union and served in Afghanistan as a police advisor and instructor for Afghan police training program. He's also the author of the book, Police Brutality Matters. Also with us, retired director of the San Diego PD Crime Lab, Jennifer Shen. Jennifer has 30 years of experience with law enforcement as a forensic scientist. She's an expert in police procedure regarding forensic evidence collection, preservation, processing, and storage, and spent 15 years working on active crime scenes. All right, first story for us tonight comes from the Evansville Police Department. They released the video, and this is one where you have a pregnant woman detained at gunpoint by police.
Evansville 911.
Yes, I'm over here at the mall right off of Green River Road.
Okay.
By Dee Dee Richley. Is a black Ford. She has a gun in her car. She up here fighting with another girl, and she's pulling a gun on her. The black Ford parked, that one got the gun in it. And the other girl, she done started running, so I don't know where she's running to. I think it's a black female driving it.
Okay. And the female that's outside the vehicle?
Oh, she's black. I don't know if they're arguing over men or something. I have no idea. Can you send a cop over here to...
Yeah, somebody else is sending the officers. I'm just getting the information for them.
Step backwards.
I don't know. They said there was two.
Keep coming, man. Dad, there's a second. Dad, keep coming. Come all the way back to it. I'll tell you when to stop. You got any?
I'm 7 months pregnant.
Okay.
What am I doing wrong?
We're trying to figure it out. Just hold on. Okay?
I just got done getting food from there.
Bear with me.
Step up for me.
Is there anybody else in the vehicle, man?
No, it's just me.
Just you. Nobody else in there, correct?
No.
Step right over here. Were you involved in any kind of altercation here?
No.
The only one? Yeah.
She says she's the only one.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead with him.
I was eating my ice cream from there.
Okay, well, here's the reason you got taken out of the car like you did. We just got called, and your car and license plate was given as the description of people that just pulled a gun on somebody at Ritzy's.
I don't have a gun. You can check my car.
Okay. I'm
I am
telling
7
you,
months pregnant.
that doesn't mean you couldn't have a gun, but I'm telling you while we're here,
No,
I think this is going to be complete.
I think so too, but in order to clear it, she's got to give it.
She already did. Yes.
So we're thinking just somebody that's pissed off there.
Either that or, yeah, she said, search my car.
so
Well, it appears that someone was mad at you.
I don't know nobody here.
Well, and
I'm 7 months pregnant.
and here's one thing: we're not doubting your word.
Thus, the reason these came off as quick as they went on, and I'm about to send you on your way because I believe you.
That's why we're not trying to hold you up or anything, and we know it's embarrassing to you, and we're sorry. And I want you to understand that. I truly do. I'm not going to change what your thoughts are. I'm not going to try to. That'd be disrespectful as well. But I want you to understand also in the nature of our world anymore and our job, we've got to approach our job as we do.
Such a bizarre case after that 911 call, but was this handled properly? I mean, police responding to that call, doing what they had to do there. Joe Estette, let me start with you. Your thoughts on how police handled this one?
Thanks, Vinny, for having me back. I like the fact that you have these conversations, these tough conversations. Now, look at the incident. Officers receive a radio call, 911. A 911 call is a mere summons for officers to investigate a police incident. Now, depending on any other information to support the 911 call helps you when you get there to investigate and start putting the pieces to the puzzle together. Now, the problem that I have, they had no victim. They had no other information but a radio call. And that's not enough to approach a person in this type of manner. This is called a felony stop. A felony stop, you have elements that firsthand elements, information that the person is committed a felony. Now, this could have been someone who was mad at this person. It could have been a prank, a joke. What they should have done is just ask her from their vehicles to come out of the vehicle, approach You see her hands when you walk up to her and say, look, we have a call that you have a gun. Do you have any weapons on you? No, yes, no. As you see, she was very cooperative. You could have patted her down and explained it. You didn't have to scare her half to death because you received information from a 911 call. 911 call is not enough information, and this is definitely an overkill on this type of approach.
Jennifer Shen, your thoughts on how this was handled?
Well, I kind of really appreciate all the experience that you have, and you would know better than I about this sort of situation. But I will tell you that when you get those 911 calls in, the officers have to respond to a situation where they don't know what's going to happen, and they don't know, what kind of danger they'll be in, or the person they're assisting will be in, or the actual person that's committing the possible crime will be in. So they have to go in with protection of themselves and the citizens in mind. So when they go to a scene where there is the allegation that there are weapons present and those weapons are being used in some sort of threatening or brandishing manner, they have to take precautions. And I actually was pretty impressed with how calm they were and how much they explained to her exactly what their thought process was and exactly why they did what they did.
Next story from WKBW in Buffalo, but it actually takes place in New York City. A shooting leaves a student in critical condition.
Great kid, hard worker. His teammates loved him.
Buffalo State football coach Christian Oslins says the best way he can describe Malachi Capers is by sharing how he got recruited.
The recruiting process, sometimes it's all about me, and it wasn't. It was about him just being given the opportunity. And you don't see many kids that will take that initiative and roll the dice.
Oslin says Capers took a 14-hour round trip on the Greyhound bus from New York City to Buffalo. He showed up at the coach's office hoping he would see his potential, and they did. He played with the team until a shoulder injury ended his football future.
Malachi is one of those teammates, you can count on to, get the job done. He doesn't talk too much. He's more of I don't talk a lot, but I'll let my playing show.
Capers' former teammates were stunned when they saw the video of the now 20-year-old shot in front of a deli on Monday afternoon.
It hurt, but the first thing I could do is just pray. After seeing it, that was the first thing I could do is just pray that everything works out.
This graphic surveillance video released by the NYPD begins with Capers walking in and brushing by the suspect inside the store. Then an argument ensues and a fight follows and spills out onto the sidewalk. That's when Capers was shot in the abdomen.
One thing is to retaliate and you throw fists at each other and it's over. But for that to happen is just is unbelievable.
Investigators say Capers is in critical condition.
Wouldn't matter if he is across the country, it doesn't matter. We're going to try and be there as much as we can. The same way that if anything happened to anyone on this team it's a brotherhood. We family.
Like a 0 to 100 over nothing. I mean, just accidentally bumping into someone in a store. Why did this escalate so quickly? Jennifer Shen, this one I don't understand. I mean, it was about nothing. It was about absolutely nothing. Two people in a store. Oops, I bumped into you. Next thing you know, someone's getting shot.
I know, it is very tragic, and I think it goes to show what heightened tensions there are in some of these places where there is quite a bit of gun violence and quite a bit of guns on the street. And so you just never really know how someone's going to react when you get into an altercation with them. And obviously, in this case, the altercation went very badly for our victim. So, I mean, that's something to keep in mind when you're out there, is to not engage if you don't have to when you're in a situation that could get tense very quickly. But this is just absolutely tragic. It's just tragic for this kid and his family. It just breaks my heart.
Absolutely. Joe Ested, how does this happen? I mean, and I remember when I was young, right? Yeah, some people you bump into are a little more hyped up than others, but it was over nothing. It was over absolutely nothing.
Yeah, Vinny, you're absolutely right. It was over nothing. And I'm going to tell you what a lot of people are arrested for having firearms in similar situations like this. They said that they felt When you carry a gun, depending on your mentality, you feel like, you're a tough guy. You might be a guy who's not able to scrap and have a fair fight. So you feel more empowered to be more aggressive because you feel like having a gun just gives you more false security of being able to handle yourself. So as you see, when he bumped him, he swung and then ran. That would indicate somebody that is not comfortable with going hands-on with somebody. He knew he had a gun. He didn't want to go hands-on with somebody, so he used the gun. And I've heard this time and time again after I made an arrest and interviewing somebody, like, why didn't you just give him a fair fight? What was the problem? He's like, yo, when you got this gun, you really think something different when you actually hold a gun. But that's why I'm a strong believer. Not everybody should have guns.
Absolutely. All right, more Crime Time straight ahead.